at the end of last week, and we are seeing even steeper losses for Japanese automakers. Nissan, Toyota, and Honda, all of them down about 3 to 4% on this news. Announcing the tariffs on Japan and South Korea came out. You see the Dow is down 520 points, about 1.2%. The S&P and the Nasdaq are also down about 1%, backing away from the all-time highs that were set. Now, what stands out to me really are two things from these tariff announcements. One, that the 25% tariff on Japan and on South Korea, this really takes things back to where they were.
And in the effort of transparency, these letters will continue to be posted to Truth Social, so you can enjoy them yourself. I want to go back to the trade deals. As you see, we have these beautiful letters.
Trump's trade tantrum just hit a new high. He slapped Japan and South Korea with 25% tariffs, and within hours, car stocks nosedived, Bitcoin took a hit, and US allies looked like they just got ghosted. But here's where it gets wild. This chaos could actually be a win for China. How? Let's untangle this web. Before we move on, I will like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Imagine this, Japan and South Korea, two of America's closest allies, just got hit with a 25% tariff on everything they sell to the US. It's like being charged extra just for showing up to the party you helped organize. This wasn't a soft negotiation or a quiet warning. It came out of nowhere on July 7th, blindsiding two nations that have been strategic partners for decades. Trump's decision was delivered with the subtlety of a bull in a china shop, and the fallout has been instant chaos.
Well, Jessica, this is just the latest twist in what has already been a very confusing trade war full of stops and starts, delays and deadlines. And look, U.S. markets, they fell sharply the moment that these letters.
And weeks ago, I stood at this podium and I told all of you that the president was going to create tailor-made trade plans for each and every country on this planet.
South Korea was at 25%, and it'll stay there according to this letter. And Japan was 24% there, and it would go up slightly to 25%.
Let's start with the markets. Within hours of the announcement, car companies like Nissan and Toyota saw their stock prices stumble. It wasn't just Japanese firms though. Assets tied to South Korea took a hit too. Even Bitcoin, which has been hyped as recession-proof, dipped in value. Investors are skittish because these tariffs add a heavy layer of uncertainty to global trading relationships. Allies who once viewed the US as a stable partner are now wondering if they're standing on shifting sand. Picture this move as launching a grenade into a crowded room. It didn't just disrupt trade already under strain, it rattled alliances and put Trump's trustworthiness on shaky ground. South Korea and Japan didn't see this coming, and that unpredictability can be toxic for long-term relationships. South Korea was already dealing with a steep 25% tariff on certain goods before this, while Japan's rate sat at 24%. This sudden hike to an across-the-board 25% throws a wrench into carefully balanced trade systems. Overnight, costs for businesses skyrocketed, leaving companies scrambling to recalculate prices and strategies. But the ripple effect doesn't just hit stockholders or CEOs, it lands on everyday people. Higher costs on imports can translate into reduced consumer choice and job cuts at companies that rely on parts or products from Asia. On top of that, retirement accounts linked to the market are taking a blow. For someone casually eyeing their 401k, this tariff may as well be a brick through the window. So why risk alienating allies and rattling the economy? Trump's America First message plays like a schoolyard bully flexing his muscles. But here's the kicker. It's making America look isolated. And here's the question. If everyone's losing, is anyone winning? While the US throws a tariff tantrum, someone in Beijing is probably sipping tea, watching the chaos unfold with a grin. Why? Because Trump's latest move might just be the gift China didn't need to ask for. Picture this. America slaps Japan and South Korea with 25% tariffs, making an already shaky alliance look like it's on life support. And guess who's waiting in the wings to swoop in? Beijing.
Stocks are down. Take a look there as President Trump announces new tariffs, 25% on both Japan and South Korea. They're the first of dozens of new tariffs the White House is expected to announce.
So the reciprocal tariff rate, or these new rates that will be provided in this correspondence to these foreign leaders, will be going out the door within the next month, or deals will be made. And those countries continue to negotiate with the United States. We've seen a lot of positive developments in the right
in the coming days as the president pressures trade partners to negotiate new deals, hopefully by his July 9th deadline, but it sounds like he's planning to stretch that out until August 1st now. Let's get straight to CNN's Matt Egan. Matt, what are you learning?
I have the signed letters that went out to both South Korea and Japan today, and there will be approximately 12 other countries that will receive notifications and letters directly from the President of the United States.
Here's what makes this especially interesting. China's been quietly sitting back, watching Trump alienate two of America's closest allies. There's no yelling or chest thumping from their side, no dramatic tit-for-tat tariffs. Instead, Beijing's been playing it cool. They've doubled down on their messaging that tariff wars have no winners. It's calm, it's strategic, and it's working. Nations around the world, particularly in Europe and among developing economies, are leaning into that narrative, which paints China as the rational player in a field of bad decisions. Think of this like a chess game. While Trump is moving pieces recklessly, trying to knock everyone off the board, China is sitting there quietly setting up for checkmate.
And in the effort of transparency, these letters will continue to be posted to Truth Social, so you can enjoy them. I want to go back to the trade deals. As you see, we have these beautiful letters.
Back on Liberation Day, right? That's when the president announced those April 2nd very high tariffs that unnerved investors. And at that point,
direction, but the administration, the president, and his trade team want to cut the best deals for the American people and the American worker. That's what they're focused on. And that's what this administration continues to be focused on. The president will also sign an executive order today delaying the July 9th deadline to August 1st.
They're not just stepping into the gaps America is leaving, they're doing it purposefully. Take BRICS, for example. China's been emphasizing that it's an open, cooperative platform, not an antagonistic one, and it's pulling in countries that are tired of unpredictable partners like Washington. They're out there signing deals, promoting investments, and pushing green energy initiatives with France, Germany, and even Greece. Projects like solar installations and nuclear energy infrastructure are solid examples of how Beijing is positioning itself as the stable, long-term ally everybody can count on. But it doesn't stop there. If Japan and South Korea start shopping around for new trade partners to offset these tariffs, guess who's ready to make room at the table? Yep, China. This fractured relationship between the US and its allies is practically a golden PR opportunity for Beijing. America's chaos is their advertisement. The question is, while China gains friends and influence, who's actually paying the price here? Spoiler, it's not just Japan and South Korea. These tariffs aren't just numbers slapped onto goods. Each one sends ripples through global alliances and economic stability. They test friendships, rattle markets, and shake up supply chains. And while Trump might call it America first, others see it as America isolated. The irony? Ordinary Americans end up footing the bill with higher prices and job uncertainty. As one diplomat bluntly put it, diplomacy built on pressure alone doesn't just fail to persuade, it pushes partners away. So while allies distance themselves and China steps forward, here's the big question: are we watching a bold strategy or a recipe for chaos?